Yezalamanda, siyayibona yezalamanda. Yezalamanda, siyayibona yezalamanda. Uyayibona ipirates. Yezalamanda, siyayibona yezalamanda.
The Big Daddy Football Corner is the name of the YouTube channel. Simanga Makhubu, aka the Big Daddy, is my name. And welcome once again, Bafethu, in this video. And this is the post-match tactical analysis and breakdown of the Orlando Pirates match that they played against Marumo Gallants in a fully packed Toyota Stadium in Bloemfontein. And they embarrassingly lost 2-0. You know, congratulations to Marumo Gallants, especially the new coach, you know, Abdesalam Odo. I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly, for winning this particular match. Guys, after the Orlando Pirates match against Sundowns, where Orlando Pirates were thrashed by 4 goals to 1, this is what I said on the Disc TV interview, where people came for me very hard, and this is what I said.
In this particular game, the quality of Sundowns Orlando Pirates was clear. Let me tell you one thing: the league is gone. Pirates need to forget about the league. Abayinike Sundowns, they must concentrate on CAF Champions League, see how far they can go, and also maybe win the Nedbank Cup. But the league is totally gone at the moment. Today, I always been saying this thing on TTB show, that when Orlando Pirates bega Iona the Sundowns, look at the squad, the difference is huge. Pirates have quantity over quality. They've got 37.
Was I not ahead of time when I did that video? That video was done, I think, on the 8th of February, and then today is the beginning of March, you know, and already people are starting to see what I told them on that day. For me, guys, it wasn't even about that Orlando Pirates lost that match, but for me it was the manner at which the loss occurred. I think for me there was a lot of group and individual tactical blunders that occurred in that particular match. So that's why I said the league is gone. I wonder if people are still hopeful, if they're still hopeful that Orlando Pirates, you know, is still gonna, you know, get to win the league. But anyway, story for another day. Look at the lineup. When I look at the lineup, I had two questions, right? Firstly was Bandile Shandu. I'm asking myself, and I'm asking each individual, you know, that's watching this video, what is it exactly that Bandile offers that puts him ahead of Nkota, as well as Uhoto, because Uhoto has played that role, you know, before. You know, what is it that is unique about him that he offers that he needs to play ahead of these two players? I don't know. You tell me. It's a question that I'm asking. Ogi, I am saying to everyone, they watched when he came back from injury against Richards Bay, one of his worst games. He was eventually substituted. Came again, I think against Kukune, came in as a sub early when Sesane got injured. Little bit better, but signs were there that is not fit for these high profile, high pressure games. Sundowns, another horrible game. And today we are talking about now him playing against Marumo again. Exactly what does Kogi needs to do to prove to Jose that actually he's not yet ready to play these high profile games. I don't really understand why Jose is not trying another central pairing when you have Mbegezeli Mbogazi in the substitute left-footed center back. Why can't you try him, right? I don't know whether what happened to Innocent Mahela and what happened to Vincent Pule when they came out of injury, they were never same, is going to happen to Kogi. I don't know, but the signs are there because he is not the same player, right? Then let's look at the first half when it started, right? I noticed Marumo Gallants were pressing with a box midfield when Orlando Pirates were doing my build-ups. And that helps them, right, to control the central corridor so they don't allow Orlando Pirates to play through the middle, because that's where Orlando Pirates is going to attack you, and that's where they are dangerous. Also, when the first two players block the pass, to the second line, as well as the other players then block a line as well, so that the ball cannot be played into the second. Also, the way they are compact, it allows them that if they counter press or if they win the ball higher, they're able to have players in front of them, easy combination or easy passage of pass into those particular. So I knew when I saw that in the very first 5 minutes that they are stopping Orlando Pirates from playing through the middle, right? So there was something interesting as well in the Marumo Gallants build-up. I think the very first build-up that they made, Orlando Pirates did not press the central midfielder that received the ball. He received the ball and was able to pass the basically that particular press. And what I then noticed was on the second time when Marumo were building up, this is where then Mbatha jumped into the press, to that central midfielder, so that it doesn't allow him that free role to be able to turn or even make that pass from there, right? I said in the previous video that I did, on the previous game that Orlando Pirates played, I said Orlando Pirates need to play more, or in the attack, the Orlando Pirates players, they need to play more through Umabas. And I think for me, I saw that today, where they were feeding more from him, and I think there was one big chance that really missed early in the first half through the combination play that I played Mabas. I saw that a couple of times in that game. I was very, very happy, because then it means the attacking players were anticipating where basically Mabasa is going to play the ball. And I think we need to play more of him to be able to attack the team, right? Then Marumo Gallants scored the goal. This is what I said again in the last video. I said Orlando Pirates are very vulnerable in dealing with balls that are playing to the box. They look very, very poor dealing with such moments. And it happened again, and it not happened once. I don't know how many times I saw Sendami, making crosses into the box, into the far post, so that they can get, a goals from situation. And I was like, God have mercy. How many times could we see the same thing all over again? And for me, nothing is done about it, because I don't see the changes. Orlando Pirates also doesn't offer any threat in the opposition. When there's a corner kick, I just look away, because I know that it's going nowhere. There is no threat of whatsoever whenever it's got a set piece. Then there is a variation that I liked about Orlando Pirates. If I'm not mistaken, it was a 5v3 in what we call the alarm zone, which is zone A. Orlando Pirates had numerical superiority in that part of the field, and they could have easily played out, in one of their build-ups. But they then opted for, to bypass that particular press with an indirect mixed play, straight to a free rail, who was in the welfare zone, which we call it zone B. For me, there was an interesting detail into how Orlando Pirates variated their build-up, right? The other thing as well is I noticed that Marumo, they were deliberately doing it, frustrating the Orlando Pirates players and wanting them to get cards. That's why probably Uchina is missing the next game, because I think Marumo wanted that social effective superiority in terms of ensuring that emotionally, they actually wind up the Orlando Pirates and actually have a superiority in that. And I think they won it in the first half, right? End of the first half, I honestly thought that Orlando Pirates is going to come back. I thought that is a game that will come back and actually win it, because in possession, Orlando Pirates were superior in the first half. The only worry that I had was the transition moments that will keep on happening, and Orlando Pirates looked suspect into that field, right? Second half, for me, there was just one team in the field. If you go look at the stats, it will show you 72% ball possession against 28. But if you look at big chances, Marumo had more. And we know what's the reason of that high line, of the 2-2 rest defense, right? And I think Marumo, had they been efficient, they could have even scored more. If you look at the total shots, 14 Orlando Pirates, 6 Marumo, but the score is 2-0, right? If you look at the passes in that game, Orlando Pirates doubled the passes of Marumo, but they did not win the game. Again, you can have possession, But if you don't know what to do with the position, it's useless. And it proved once again, right? So for me, this Orlando Pirates team, you know, yeah. But yeah, I think again, Orlando Pirates in the final third, they were let down once again by decision making. That decision making in the final moment was a problem. And for me, I saw the old Orlando Pirates of the past 2-3 seasons where they will have the entire ball possession, but they will fail to make anything out of it. Unlucky to Mbatha, you know, with that own goal. But again, I will repeat it, Buffett. Orlando Pirates have lost the league to Sundowns. And Orlando Pirates fans need to accept that unless they still have got hope, right? I honestly think that Orlando Pirates need to change focus, shift to the net bank, shift the focus to CAF Champions League and see how far they can go. And the less I talk about that high line and the 2-2 rest defense, the Kogi and Smisi a centre back pairing, the better, because wow. Daniel Msendami, another game that I think he used to advertise himself into the big two Soweto sides, because I think that player is ready to make the next move. If there is one foreign player in the PSL that I feel is ready to make a jump into the big boys league, you know, I'm putting my money on Daniel, you know, in this point. I think I was introduced, not I think, I know, I was introduced to him when Orlando Pirates were playing Jwaneng Galaxy, the time when they lost in the CAF Champions League, you know, in the preliminary stage. That's where I saw the player. And then he played the second season with Jwaneng, and I think the third season that he's coming into the PSL. And I think he has showed that he's a player that is ready, you know, for the PSL. For me, the most important thing is how very consistent he has been, because in every game, he's one of the best players in the pitch. And even this game against Orlando Pirates showed that. For me, it's the same profile as Lilepo. But for me, what I liked in the most is the speed of attack, the elimination of the opposition to create space for himself and his teammates, the power, the strength, the stamina, the high work rate, in and out of possession. You know, Daniel Msendan, I'm very, very much impressed. You know, having watched him for a couple of seasons, you know, even if I said Botswana in between those games, you know, the highlights that came through, I was very, very impressed about that particular player. But yeah, Mapagania, that's it for me. If there's anything that you feel I've missed, just let me know and just share. Asikhulumelento. Ayeye, until the next video. Comment, like, you know, and also subscribe to the channel. Ayeye bafethu.